Warning, there are people pretending to be me in the comments. This is what a comment from me looks like. Notice that the name is spelled perfectly, and notice the border around the name. That's how you know it's from me. You can also click on my name to make sure you actually go to my channel to double check. And this is what a comment from an imposter will look like. It has weird characters in the name or comment, and it's usually going to ask you to add them on WhatsApp or Telegram. I don't have WhatsApp or Telegram, and I would never ask you to add me on there. Alright, so please be careful, use your common sense, and now let's get back to the video. Hey, how's it going, GPU heads? Thanks for clicking on my video. Seb Heslo here. And guys, Trex Miner has recently introduced dual mining for both LHR and full hashrate GPUs. But with that, they have also introduced a new feature that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about very much at all, actually. And I really believe that this new feature can be massive for the future of GPU mining. So here's what we're gonna do in this video. I'm gonna start by explaining what this feature is and why I think it could be such a big deal going forward. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how you can use this feature already to improve your profitability mining right now, as well as show you some examples of how much it actually increases profitability already. So let's hop on over and get started. And I have to be honest, I meant to have this video out for you guys last week, but it's taken longer because I've just been addicted to watching this guy on YouTube, Chump Change XD. Link will be in the description, go check him out. So in this new version of Trex Miner, they have introduced dual mining of Alephium together with Ethereum. And if you're unfamiliar what dual mining means, it basically means that you can mine two coins on the same GPU at the same time. But the major new thing that they have introduced is a profit-based tuning coefficient. And if that just sounded like complete gibberish to you, then don't worry, I'm gonna explain exactly what that means in just a little bit. But first, I figured let's have a look at the actual documentation for the dual mining mode in Trex Miner. And of course, I'm gonna show you the whole, batch file setup later for how to get this to work. But I figured let's just have a look at all of the parameters and settings that are actually in there. So of course we enable the whole feature with the dual algo parameter that you can see here. And then what we can do is basically using the dual algo mode parameter, we can set which coin will be mined on which GPU. So basically the way that works is if you put A1, that means the GPU will mine the primary coin, so Ethereum in this case. If you put A2, that means it will only mine the secondary coin, which is Alephium in this case. And if you put A12, it means it will mine both coins. It will dual mine Ethereum together with Alephium. And within this parameter, you also get to set what they call the tuning coefficient, which basically means how much hash rate should the miner, Trex Miner, dedicate to, both coins if you're dual mining. So you can do this in two different ways here, which is you can either use this command, which is R and then a value, which sets a ratio, a hash rate ratio, which basically is the secondary algorithm's hash rate divided by the primary algorithm's hash rate that you want to hit. So kind of the ratio you want between those two hash rates. And the second and more easy to understand coefficient is the percentage one. So you set age and then a percentage, and that percentage value is basically how much hash rate you want to save on your primary algorithm. So for example, if you set 98%, that means it will sacrifice 2% of the Ethereum hash rate in order to increase the hash rate of the secondary algorithm, which will be Alephium. And the default values for these are either 98% for full hash rate cards, so preserving 98% of the hash rate on Ethereum, or preserving 74% of the hash rate on LHR cards, basically the full unlock amount that we get on LHR cards anyway. But guys, then they hit you with this, the profit per megahash tuning coefficient. And so basically this is an alternative to setting either a hash rate ratio or a hash rate percentage. Instead, what this does, profit per megahash, it lets you set the current profitability per megahash per day for each of the 2 coins that you're gonna dual mine. And then what Trex does is, based on those profitabilities, it will auto-tune itself to make sure it generates the most profit possible for your GPUs. And again, I'm gonna show you how to set that up a little bit later in this video. So you might be thinking to yourself, just like I was, well, okay, so it just basically means that it's either gonna put 100% on Ethereum or 100% on Alephium, you know, based on which coin is most profitable to mine at that moment. And that is actually not the case, because what you have to think about is that the hash rate sacrifice is not an even trade-off. So what I mean by that is that it's not like, okay, you sacrifice 2% of your Ethereum hash rate and then you get 2% of Alephium hash rate. It's more like you sacrifice 2% of Ethereum hash rate and then you gain 30% of your Alephium hash rate. So basically, even though Alephium mining is a lot less profitable per mega hash than Ethereum is, just sacrificing a tiny bit of Ethereum hash rate, you gain a massive amount of Alephium hash rate, which means that overall your GPU becomes more profitable because you're only losing such a tiny bit of Ethereum hash rate and Ethereum profits and gaining so much in terms of Alephium hash rate. So your rig becomes more profitable as a whole. But then there are diminishing returns with this. So I'm gonna use, you know, made up numbers here, but this is basically how it works. So let's say you sacrifice your first 2% of Ethereum hash rate and you gain 30% in terms of Alephium hash rate. But then if you instead sacrifice 4% of your Ethereum hash rate, it's not like you're gonna gain 60% on your Alephium hash rate. Maybe it's more like 45%. And then if you sacrifice 6% of your Ethereum hash rate, maybe now you're only getting 50% of Alephium hash rate. So as you start sacrificing more and more Ethereum hash rate, the return in terms of Alephium hash rate becomes less and less. And this is truly where the magic of this, you know, profit-based tuning coefficient comes into play, because based on the profitability numbers that you fill in Trex, what Trex will do is it will automatically tune your GPUs to find the sweet spot where it is the most profitable overall. So it will find that maybe it needs to sacrifice exactly 3% of the Ethereum hash rate, because then it doesn't lose very much in terms of Ethereum profits, but that's where it gains sort of the sweet spot in terms of how much Alephium it will mine based on the exact profitability numbers that you have plugged in. And so practically how that would look is that, let's say, for example, Alephium mining completely dies, the coin goes to $0 in value, right? Then, you know, sacrificing just 1% of Ethereum hash rate to gain 25% in Alephium hash rate won't be worth it, because Alephium mining is literally useless. So then it's better to just get that full 100% hash rate on Ethereum. But then if Alephium mining is pretty profitable, then it might be worth sacrificing those 2% of Ethereum mining to get a bigger bump in Alephium mining hash rate. And if Alephium mining becomes really, really profitable, it might be worth sacrificing 20% of your Ethereum hash rate in order to get like really high hash rate on Alephium. And so that is how that tuning coefficient works with the profitability numbers that you plug into it. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what this opens up for the future of mining, and there are mainly two things that I would love to see implemented in this feature in, you know, upcoming updates for Trex Miner. Now, the first one is that I would love to see Trex Miner be able to automatically check the profitability of these coins every, let's say, 12 hours or so, and then go in and automatically retune your dual mining ratio based on the current profitability level for both coins. Just imagine how amazing that would be if every 12 hours, for example, your rig just goes in and auto tweaks itself to make sure it produces the most profit possible. And the second thing that I would love to see implemented is something that I think could become extremely powerful, especially after the ETH 2.0 merge, where Ethereum won't be mineable anymore. And that is if they could add a bunch of more coins into this feature, because the main reason that dual mining actually works is because you have, you know, some coin algorithms like Ethereum or Ergo, which are mostly memory dependent on your GPU, and then you have other coin algorithms like for Alephium or Ton that are mostly core dependent. And you know, put them both together, they're using the full capacity of your GPU without sacrificing much hash rate of each other. So imagine that after Ethereum is no longer mineable, every 12 hours or so, Trex will automatically check which coins are the most profitable to mine on your specific, you know, rig, and then automatically tweaks the perfect ratio between whichever two coins happen to be the best and most profitable at that time. So maybe one day it's dual mining Ergo together with Ton, and then a few days later it's dual mining Raven coin together with Alephium, and then again a few days later it's actually just mining Conflux with no dual mining. The possibilities there really are endless, and it would always make sure that your rig is generating the most profit possible, and you could use that in order to either build up a diverse crypto portfolio mining all of these different coins, where you hold on to all those coins and wait for the prices of them to go up in the future and sell then. Or you could set up a system where you auto exchange all of these coins into something that you would rather have, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and you could do that either in your wallet or your pool or on an exchange or whatever, right? And in doing so, you're basically creating a much more sophisticated version of a profit switching miner like NiceHash. Alright, so now that we know what the big deal with this feature is, let's have a look at how to actually get it set up. And if you need just the basic of like how to download the miner and set up a wallet for Alephium and stuff like that, then I recommend you go check out my previous video on Alephium. I'll leave a link to that up in the corner there, as well as in the description of this video. But what I will focus on next is just how to set up the dual mining feature with this, you know, profitability based tuning coefficient. Alright, so here we are on the computer, and I have just downloaded the latest version of Trex Miner. I'm using version 0.25.8, and what's good is that this comes with a batch file preset for dual mining Ethereum with Alephium. So what I'll do is I'll just right click on this and I'll hit edit. And what I've done is I've already filled it in a little bit here, but I'm gonna go through it all with you. So what we see here is, first, I've just changed the path to the executable to include the whole path. You need to do that in order to be able to run the miner as administrator, and you need to do that in order to set your overclock settings within the batch file. But more on that in just a little bit. So you can see here for the primary algorithm, I've put that to ETH+ALPH, which is the algorithm for Ethereum. And then of course we have the dual algo parameter here, and I've set that to Blake 3, which is the algorithm for Alephium. And then you can see the pool server address here and the port, and that's for Ethereum, your Ethereum pool, your Ethereum wallet address, your password for the Ethereum pool, your rig name here, and then you have the pool address for your Alephium pool, as well as the port for that, and finally your wallet address for Alephium, and as well as the password to your Alephium pool. Then what you can see I've done here is I've just added the fan speed I want. I want it to target a temperature of 55 degrees on the core. I've set my core clock locked at 1150 on all my GPUs, and I've set my memory clock offset to plus 1300 on all my GPUs. And as we know, per default, dual mining will be enabled on all our GPUs. But if we don't want that, what we can do is we can come in here and we can set the dual algo mode parameter. So I'm just gonna copy that and I'm gonna paste that in here. And what I can do, so since this is a 6 GPU rig, I could set like algorithm 1 for the first 3 GPUs, then algorithm 2 for the 4th and 5th, and then finally to dual mine on the 6th GPU, for example. And what we could also do is we could use these basic tuning coefficient with either, you know, a hash rate percentage or a hash rate ratio. So how that would look, you know, we won't have to do that on the ones that are just gonna mine one coin like these ones, but if we want to do that here, we would set, for example, age 95 to target 95% of the full hash rate on Ethereum on our 6th GPU. But we want to just stick to the default here. So I'm actually just going to remove this, which will make it dual mine on all the GPUs. And the dual mining ratio, we want to be based on our profit coefficient instead, which is what we're going to add now. So to do that, we just go back here in the documentation and we copy the profit per mega hash parameter and we paste that in. So as per default, what will happen now is all GPUs will dual mine, and the ratio at which they mine the two different coins will be set automatically by Trex miner based on the profitability numbers that we plug in now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you can get these profitability values basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to go to whattomine.com and I'm going to open up both Alephium and Ethereum. And let me just fill in 1000 mega hash on Ethereum, and I'm going to set power to 0 watts. And then for difficulty, I'm going to choose average loss 24 hours and block reward average loss 1 hour. Sure, hit calculate. And then we can see here that per 1000 mega hash, our profitability is currently $36.01. So what we can do then to get the profitability per mega hash is, of course, just take our 36.01 and divide that by 1000, which gives us 0.03601. And that will be the first value we enter here. So 0.03601 and then a colon. And then we put the profitability for Alephium mining, and we get that from Watermine as well. So here we just put 1 gigahash at 0 watts and we hit calculate, and there we can see that our profit for mining Alephium is currently 61 cents per 1000 mega hash, right? So what we do is just 0.61 divided by 1000, which gives us 0.00061 in terms of profitability. So that is the number we plug in here, so 0.00061, and there we go. That is our profitability ratio for dual mining. So what we do now is we just hit the X, we save this, and now when we run Trex, it will automatically figure out the most profitable ratio to dual mine these two coins. Now, of course, what you can do is you can add your power costs in here as well. So to get an even more accurate representation of what your actual profitability would be. But just for this example, I'm going to skip that. So let's run the miner and let's see what happens. And as we can see here, it is saying that it's setting dual ratio of 10 on each of our GPUs here. So let's see what that means in terms of hash rate for them. Okay, so we are getting around 61.4 mega hash on all of our 3070s. Now these are full hash rate 3070s, and we're getting around 613.5 mega hash on Alephium on each of our 3070s. So 61.4 on Ethereum and 613.5 on Alephium. And the total power draw seems to be around 142 watts, let's say, per GPU. So let's plug that into our calculator and compare it to what I would get with these GPUs mining just Ethereum and see what we get. So just mining Ethereum on these GPUs, I would get around 62.5 mega hash at 120 watts. And that would get me around $1.96 per day. Now with dual mining, we were getting 61.3, let's say, at 142 watts. So let's calculate that, which is $1.86 per day profit, you know, after power cost, right? But we were also getting 613 or so mega hash on Alephium, which would be 0.613. And the power consumption there is 0 because we've already accounted for our power consumption here when doing the Ethereum profitability. So let's just hit calculate on this. And we can see there we're getting $0.37 a day, 37 cents per day. So with just mining Ethereum, we got $1.96, but with dual mining, we got $1.86 plus 37 cents. So that would obviously be 37 cents plus $1.86, $2.23. So that is $0.27 more per day. And what we can know now is that this is the most profitable setup for this GPU, because what we've done is we've plugged in the actual profitability values for both Alephium and Ethereum, and we know that Trex have found the sweet spot to squeeze out the most possible profit out of those two algorithms for us. Alright, if you found this video helpful, then please give it one of these. And if you really liked it, you can now join the channel to help support what I do here. It really does make a big difference and it means a lot to me. But what you gotta do now is you gotta click on the next video on the screen, because this video is over. You can also click the picture on my face to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, go click on that next video and I'll see you there. Goodbye. Goodbye, bye bye.